They throw me inside the cell. They close the door. It was so dark in there. For me, I could not see shadows. Pitch black, like I'm blind.
Omer Shem Tov.
Omer Shem Tov.
Omer Shem Tov.
Omer Shem Tov, a former Hamas hostage.
He spent more than 500 days in Hamas captivity.
Just about a month ago, he returned back home after going through hell in Gaza.
Did you ever ask Hashem, why were you one of the people who were taken captive?
Yeah, at some point, I just let it go. And I told myself, okay, this is my path. If I'm supposed to die here, then I'll die here. I used to clean there. I used to dig in the tunnels as well. I was kind of their slave.
Could you tell me about the time where you almost escaped?
One night, they all fell asleep, and I stayed up. No one guarding me. There's 9 terrorists inside the room. They're all asleep. I see a rifle. They grab it by my arms. My heart is pounding. I look at them. I'm like, and the last day for me in this tunnel, they tell me it's time to go. We're standing in the exit of the tunnel, and they tell me,
Omer will explain in detail what he actually experienced in Gaza, the abuse, being underground, and how his life changed. He will talk about the miracles he saw and the most important relationship he developed in the tunnels that actually saved him. This episode is in memory of Miriam Sarah Bas Yaakov Moshe, Shimon David Ben Yaakov Shloima, and it's also for a shidduch for Leah Bas Machla Bracha, as well as a Yeshua for David Yitzchak Isaac Ben Chana Bela Perel and Sarah Bas Aiga Rivka. We are doing a live interview with Eli Sharabi soon, so be sure to listen to the details at the end of this episode. This episode is powered by PZ Deals, Woodmont College, Wheels to Lease, Naki Radio, and BitBean. Oh, and by the way, please give us a thumbs up on this video so the Hamas lovers absolutely flip out when they see a hostage speaking up and revealing how evil they are. One thumb up will literally share this to hundreds of people. Here we go. Omer, thank you so much for doing this.
thank you for having me.
Okay, so could you tell us what your life was like before October 7th?
Life was, it was pretty much normal for me. I still have a great family. I just got out of the army. I used to work as a waiter, and I saved up money for a trip, a big trip to South America or to the East or wherever I wanted to go with some friends. At that time, I used to work with Maya Regev. Maya Regev, she was one of the other hostages. We were very close friends at that time. We were separable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in unison. You're one.
Yeah, exactly. She's like my sister. She really is. And it's this time of freedom, yeah, that you really get to know yourself. Like the story begins on the 6th of October. Yeah. It's my mom's birthday. Yeah, and it's a Friday, and we do a kiddush like every Friday. Yeah. And this for us it was a normal kiddush, but it felt a bit different. Yeah, there was a really good energy in this kiddush. Like always, my dad made his Moroccan fish, his spicy Moroccan fish. Yeah, and we sat around the table and we had fun and we laughed and we loved, and it was great. It was really an amazing kiddush. And after the kiddush, we sat in the living room with all the cousins, and we watched some videos of us as children in the state, and it was really an amazing time. That period of time of me as a released soldier, yeah, it's an amazing period of time, and it's exactly where you start your life.
So, okay, October 6th, you're having kiddush. It's nice. It's good. You're with your family. October 7th, also, I imagine the beginning of it starts off nice and normal as well.
Yeah, we were at the party. I got to the party with some friends, not with Maya and Itai. Maya and Itai, they just landed in Israel from Mexico, yeah, and they were about 10 minutes in their house, and they came straight away to the party. Before the party, like 2 hours before the party, I met Ori Danino, yeah, Ori Danino, I'll say now, Ori Danino was held in a captivity for 11 months, and he was murdered after 11 months there, and his body was brought back to Israel. When I met him for the first time, he had this good energy, and he had this light inside of him. I could really feel it, and he was helping with the with the table and the chairs and everything. And we were in the party, and there were amazing vibes. Music was amazing, and we danced, and it was really a feeling of freedom and youth, and it was a good time. It really was.
At what point did you realize that something was wrong?
Yeah. So at 6:29, the attack started, and the production, they turn off the music, and they tell us to clear the area. For us, it's very usual, the attacks. Yeah, sometimes once in a while it happens. Yeah, so we're usual to alarms and missiles. So we were kind of chilling. We were walking normal. We didn't give much notice to the missiles. It was because we were closer to Gaza, so I could see the rockets now. Yeah, not like in my house because I live a bit far away from Gaza.
Mm.
But we walked to the parking lot. Most of our friends we split up. We stayed. Ori also. He went to his car and he drove away. He was in a safe zone already. He could have gone home. And we stayed together, Maya, Itai, and me. And after about an hour, I get a phone call from my dad, and he tells me, Omer, listen, it's not only a missile attack, it's also there is terrorists coming inside of Israel. Also, in that time, I thought to myself, okay, maybe there's like 5, 6 terrorists coming inside. So I didn't give much notice to it. But as time went by, I started to notice some unusual stuff. So we were in a traffic jam, and I remember hearing some girl. She was talking with her friend on the phone, and she was screaming, "My friend, she got shot! She got shot! My friend got shot!" And then the panic, started, and we got out. We got out of the vehicles, and now, as I said, it's Maya, Itai, and myself. And I see an officer. The officer tells me go to a certain direction that he directed me to fields, yeah, open fields. And then we started hearing shootings, and we ran for our lives from a place to another, to another, to another. And after about an hour, I get a phone call from Ori. And like I've said, Ori was in a safe place already. And he tells me, Omer, send me your location. I'm coming to get you guys. It's crazy to think, this guy that I barely know
Mm.
coming back to the danger zone, yeah, to he didn't think about himself. He just wanted to come and save us. And after maybe half an hour, I see his vehicle, and I wave at him. He stops next to us. Maya and Itai goes in the back. They sit in the back. I sit next to him in the front. And I remember inside the car, inside the vehicle, I hear Ori speaking with one of his soldiers. Ori was an officer, and he's telling him, "Listen, get your stuff together, get everything. We're going to war." So even in the most dangerous place, in the most the time that most people would think about themselves, he thought about the country. He thought about protecting the country. He thought about going to war. We drive for maybe 15 minutes or so, and then we get to a right turn, and and it turns the vehicle right, and there we recognize two vehicles of Hamas, two pickup trucks. They block the road, and he stops the vehicle. We get our heads down, and they start opening fire towards us. And I can still remember the sound of the whistle, the bullets that went by my head. Yeah. If I'll show you the vehicle, I will show you after that. It's it's a miracle that I'm alive today. Um, it's a background story that I have. I have a tattoo, yeah, of a red bracelet. You know the red strings that you get in the
Sure.
hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had one that my grandma she gave me. I think in 2019 or 20. Yeah, and it lasted on me for 3.5 years. And usually, it trips after a month or so. And on the 6th of October afternoon, the string ripped, and I took the string and I tied it to my. I had like this bag, this small bag, and inside the car, when they started to open fire at us, I hold the string and I pray to God. I pray to Hashem. I tell him, please save me, save me, save me. I did not get hit anywhere in my body. It's like bullets went through me, yeah, but I did not get injured. And I remember Maya speaking with her father on the phone, screaming to him, and Dad, I've been shot, I'm about to die. And the shooting stops, and I look at Ori, and Ori gets out of the vehicle, and he survived. And after a few hours, they got him. Then Itai screams to me, Omer, drive, drive, drive. I tried to put the car in reverse and press the pedal with my hand. Luckily for us, the car did not move. I see two terrorists heading up to us. One of them pulls me out. He pushes me to the ground, and he pushes me right in front of their truck tire. So I'm looking at the tire, and I'm thinking to myself, this is the way I'm gonna die. They're gonna run me over right now. And he ties my hands behind my back, and he kicks me, and he spit on me, and he puts his leg over my back like a victory position. And then I look back at the car, and I see them grabbing Maya and Itai, and they're both shot in the legs. And Maya's leg is in a critical condition. And after a few minutes, they load us in the back of the truck. They sit on us, maybe 7 terrorists, and we start driving towards Gaza. And maybe in 6 minutes, we were inside Gaza already. And as we get into Gaza, I remember I remember the sound of the cheering people, citizens, women and children. I remember the Allahu Akbar, Allahu the shooting in the air. It's like an holiday for them. And after a few minutes, we stop. The vehicle stops, and one of the terrorists, he looks at me, and he grabbed my phone. So he tells me, "What's your passcode?" And I tell him I was in shock. Yeah, so I tell him I forgot my passcode. I don't remember it.
Did you
And
actually forget it?
yeah, I did. I
Wow.
did. Yeah, I tell him, show me the phone so I can remember.
Mhm.
And he shows me the phone, and I see my mom is calling me, and he hangs up the phone, and I give him the passcode, and then they take us off the truck, and we get inside this small abandoned garage. Inside this building, there was a hole in the floor. Yeah, I was the first one to go down. It was maybe 7 meters deep. There, a terrorist is waiting for me. He points his gun to my back and tells me to start walk. We get to this small room. There, they lay me down on my stomach, and they take off my shoes and my socks. And now I'm in this room with one terrorist. Okay, and this terrorist, he spoke Hebrew. This is the same one that asked for the passcode.
Mm.
And I lay there on the floor. He sits next to me, and I look at him. And the first thing that went through my mind is, I don't know. It was like an instinct to make a connection with him. And I look at him and I tell him, "What's your name?" And he tells me his name. And then I tell him, "I'm Omer." And he looks at me, and suddenly he tells me, "Do you know Eden Benzaken? You know who is Eden Benzaken? Eden Benzaken, she is a
The
popular
singer?
yeah, exactly.
Right.
She is a popular Israeli singer. Yeah." And I tell him, "Yeah, I do know Eden Benzaken." And he tells me, "Okay, so sing something from Eden Benzaken." And I find myself singing. She has a song, Queen of the Roses, Malkat Shoshanim. Yeah, I find myself singing to him, Malkat Shoshanim, and he even completed me because I forgot the words.
They
Yeah,
finished it all for you.
yeah. He untie my hands, and he tells me, "Come sit down next to me." And suddenly his commander comes inside, and like he's shouting at him, yelling at him, "What are you doing? Get him down! Tie his hands behind his back." And again, the same thing. Then I see Maya and Itai. They're coming in. They're both wounded. The terrorists, they carried them on their back, and they threw them on the ground. And a few minutes go by, and one of the terrorists comes up to me. He grabs him by my arm. He picks me up and tells me to start walking. Maya and Itai, they stayed there. We walk for a minute or so, and we get to an exit. The door opens up, and I get out to a living room inside a house. I remember there were yellow couches and a chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Sorry, and we go to the front door to the entrance, and he opens the door, and there is a car waiting for me there. And I get inside the car, and now not only do I hear the people, I can see them as well. And I've seen the joy on their faces. It's crazy to think how much they wanted this to happen. The citizens, the Hamas terrorists, everyone there was so happy. And we drove for a few minutes, and we get to a house, stop next to it. They get me inside the house. They throw me inside a room. I remember the room was he had like orange walls. The paint was a bit peeled. Yeah, and there was on the corner there was like a big pile of garbage. Yeah, and he throws me inside, and I sit there for a couple of minutes. The terrorist, he closed the door. I sit there alone, and the thing that goes through my mind is Gilad Shalit. Gilad Shalit was an hostage for 5 years. He was held in a captivity, in a Hamas captivity, and he was released, I think, in 2007 or 2011. I'm not sure. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is the next 5 years for me right now, because I didn't understand the how big it was. I didn't know that there is so many hostages. and I sit there for a bit, and then the door open just for a bit, and I see the three heads of children. Yeah, they like look at me. They pop their heads inside the room, and they look at me like I'm an animal in a cage. And their dad, the terrorist, he tells them, look at the Jew, look at the Jew." And then his wife and his sister comes, and also the same thing. And an hour goes by maybe, and then Itai comes in, and Maya after him, and they're both very, they were very hurt because they took them to the hospital, yeah, and in the hospital, they just took out the bullet without any, not like a surgery. There's no any
No medication.
no
or
medication,
anything.
exactly. So they just take out the bullet, and that's it, and they wound them, and that's it. And they throw them inside. They take a couple of picture of us, and that's where the story begins. That's where the first 53 days for us together begins.
We'll be right back this week's episode, but I want to take a moment to tell you about something important. I've been thinking lately about how lucky I feel to do work that actually fits who I am. This career uses the strength Hashem gave me, supports my family, and it feels right. And I really want that for every single one of you listening, and you could get it. If you're in a place where you're trying to figure out what your next step or how to build a career that works long-term, I want you to look into the BS in computer programming from Woodmont College. This is a fully online, frum-friendly degree that teaches you real practical skills. I'm talking about things like software development, coding, IT, app building, and cybersecurity. The tech field is growing fast, and it offers a real opportunity for people who want to build a solid, reliable parnasa. Plus, with this degree, you'll learn all the newest evolving technologies, including AI, and you can start anytime, even next week. You can transfer in a lot of credits to finish sooner. It's much more affordable than most programs, and there are scholarships that are available. And if you're supporting a frum family, this kind of career can make all the difference. It's not just about passion, it's about practicality. There's a real income potential here. And what I love about this is it's not a gamble, it's a smart investment in your future. If this sounds like something that could work for you or someone you know, go to woodmontcollege.edu and check out the link in the show notes to find the programming degree. It might be the right next move for you. Are you looking for a family entertainment system that will keep your kids engaged with great stories and music, keep them off devices, and bring your family together? Meet the new Naki. Okay, I have it over here. I'm going to play it for you.
No, you're not going outside again.
Okay, they're amazing. Let's get into it, okay? Formerly Naki Radio, Naki offers a sleek new line of devices built for high-quality family listening. Choose your story, choose your music anytime you want. With updated Naki Go app and a growing library of content, your kids will be entertained with exciting serials and fresh weekly releases. Fan favorites include Pickle Boy Season 3, Zadie's Bookshelf, Mary Ben Dayan, and more. For just $12.99 a month, get access to everything on up to 5 devices per household, including the app or any Naki device. And yes, you can reach out to them to get inspiration on the device as well. And you could explore the lineup such as the Naki Bolt, the sleek flagship device with touch interface, the Naki Pulse, portable, and powerful, the Naki Pulse Max, dual speakers for immersive sound, and of course the Naki Auto, which is really brilliant. You'll be able to stream music, stories, and maps on the road, so you don't need a smartphone. And I personally believe that Naki is the best system out there for kids and for a Jewish home. When it comes to Naki, you're going to get pure energy. Of course, the inspiration listeners, you're going to get free shipping with the code word L'chaim. So you're going to go to naki.audio and you will get whichever device makes most sense for your home. And personally, I love it because I don't want my kids having a handheld device. I don't care if there's no internet on it. A 4-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old should not be having a handheld device. With Naki, it goes, it stays where it is, it gets plugged in, and it's great. So check it out. Of course, we have the link in the show notes. Okay, and now right before we get to maybe the most powerful part of this episode, let me quickly save you from a car leasing nightmare. You know what people hate when it comes to getting a car? Pushy salespeople. Hidden fees, wasting hours in a showroom, only to be surprised by last-minute charges or changes or upsells. No one wants that, and you don't have to deal with it. That's why I always recommend Wheels to Lease. For over 35 years, they've been doing things differently. No pressure, no games, and no waste of time. Just honest, upfront pricing and white glove service. That brings the car straight to your door. Whether you're buying, financing, or leasing, new or used, they'll get you the best deal on any make, any model, anytime. Just tell them what you want and they take care of everything. Reach out to our friends at 718-871-8715. Of course, you can email them at inspire@wheelstolease.com or visit wheelstolease.com/inspire. They're efficient, fairly priced, and honest, good people. All right, back to my conversation with Omer.
After a week or so, Maya, she was moved to an hospital because of her leg. It was in a very critical condition. And Itai and I, we kind of lived together, for 53 days. Itai, I did not know him very well. Mm, He's Maya's brother. I saw him for a bit. We became brothers, really. Uh, this experience, to experience it together, it's something life changing. And there were tough times there in the first 53 days for us together. We used to, if we ever used to argue about anything, it's about food, because you get so small amounts of food, you have to divide it by two. Yeah, so it's very difficult. Most of the time, we were together in a locked room. We weren't allowed to speak, so we whispered. And when I mean, so think about it, whisper for 53 days, okay? And when I say whisper, we whisper like this, okay?
What was the reason, if they gave, that you can't talk? Why can't you talk?
So if the neighbors hear us, so they will kill us. That's what they said. Yeah, they will give our names to the army, and that's what they used to say, that the army will kill us as well. They will bomb the house. But there were nights that we at some point you have to I want to say live again. Yeah, you have to move on. Yeah, so after a couple of week or two, we started even telling jokes one another, and we used to die from laughter into the pillow because we couldn't laugh out loud. So even in the worst times, we had a bit of a good time. Yeah. It was very important for me to keep smiling and really having a good energy, because I really do think that the energy you give out, it's something that affects you. I remember one time that the faith in Hashem for me became very, very strong. Okay, every day that went by for me before the 7th October, I always believed in Hashem. Yeah, but I did not keep kosher. Yeah, I did not do a tefillin every morning. And there I really found Hashem in the best way possible. Thank God, Baruch Hashem, today I do tefillin every morning and I keep kosher, and I try my best. Yeah, I'm not. I try my best to keep Shabbat uh, with the help of God one day.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
Yeah, slowly. But there I really started to really connect with Hashem, and the faith only grew stronger and stronger. And I remember one day I used to sit, yeah, every night before I went to sleep, and have this kind of a dialogue with Hashem, yeah. So you know how it's funny. Every time I say it, people are the first time I speak about it publicly, to the public, yeah. People said it's an amazing lesson, yeah. But you know how you always ask something from Hashem, yeah, but you never ask how does he feel, yeah. So this kind of dialogue I used to start with how are you, Hashem? How do you feel? How was your day? Is everything okay now? And then I used to say thank you for everything that I have. And I used to say thank you for the small amount of food that I have and the air in my lungs. and that I have Itai next to me. And thank you for keeping my family safe in Israel. And thank you for everything that I do have and anything that I don't have. And at the end, I asked for everything that I needed. Yeah. So if it's put me on the right path and help me get back home and give strength to my family, really, really everything that I needed. And one day, I remember Itai, he was really depressed. We were together in a new apartment, and we sat there, and he told me, "Listen, we're not going home, and we will die here." And he was really, really depressed. And in the night, I'm speaking with Hashem, and I tell him, "Please, Hashem, help Itai, give him strength, make him believe that we will go back home." And I go to sleep, and in the morning we wake up. And the first thing that Itai tells me is, "Omer, I believe it will go home." So really, everywhere I walked and everywhere I was in Gaza, I saw Hashem in the best ways possible. From every place we moved, we saw that there was a reason that we were moved. One of the places that we moved and it was bombed, like the other day. So I really felt the protection, and I thank God that I am here today. Oh Hashem. And after 50 days, Maya was released, and we were very happy.
Yeah, like what was, because it's very bittersweet, because on one end you want what's best for her, but also you guys are still left there. Like,
Yeah. So because me and Itai we were together, we were we were very happy for her. Yeah, we were. And we said, okay, at least we got each other. Everything is okay now. A few days go by. We were very excited for her. A few days go by, and I remember the day that the terrorist comes to us and tells us about the ceasefire. Yeah, he tells us that Maya will leave and there is women and children. And I look at Itai, and I remember he's only 18, and he did not go to the army yet. So I'm telling the terrorist, "What about Itai? Is Itai living?" And he tells me, "I don't know. I have to check." And Maya was released, and after 3 days, the terrorist comes up to us and tells us. At that time, we were in an apartment that they just locked us inside of it, and they went. That's it. We were inside the apartment, and that's it. He comes up to us, the terrorist, and he tells us, "Listen, tomorrow the war begins. The ceasefire broke, and tomorrow the war begins again, and we have to separate you." So for us, it was the thing that we were most scared of. Being alone. It's very hard there. And he takes Itai, and I go to sleep, and I wake up in the morning, and I don't hear jets or any explosions or nothing. And he comes back in the night again and tells me Itai left. He went home. I was very happy for him, but at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, like, what about me? I'm a human too. Why am I so different from him? Why he got to go home and I didn't? Yeah. And again, I was so happy for him. But this feeling of being left behind, yeah, it's hard. It's very, very hard. And I was at that apartment for 3 days. I was alone. I thought I'm going crazy. I really did. Like, it's so hard, to you cannot speak, you cannot do anything. Yeah. So I used to try to make like a routine for me, yeah, to clean the apartment a bit, do anything, to move. At the end, you understand that you're alone, and it's super difficult. And 3 days go by, and the terrorist comes, and every night he used to come with a bag of pita bread and some cheese so I could have for the next day. And I pray to God every day that he won't come with a bag, So I know I'm going home. Yeah. And in the night it came without a bag. And I stand up and I look at him and he tells me, Omer, grab your stuff, you're going. And I tell him, am I going home? And he tells me, no, you're going under. And he takes me to a tunnel. There I go to they give me to a new terrorist group, yeah. And we walk down the tunnels for about an hour or so. We get to a cell. Yeah, it was a very, very small cell. The best I could spread my arms was this, yeah. And if I wanted to stand up, I needed to crouch. And it was 40 meters deep. They throw me inside the cell. They close the door, and it was so dark in there. Yeah. Uh, when I say dark, and every time this is the thing I always repeat. Yeah. When I say dark, it's so hard to understand what means dark. Yeah. If you go in a room, yeah, and you close the light and you look at your hand, yeah, you can still see shadows moving. Yeah. For me, I could not see shadows.
Literally pitch black.
Pitch black. Pitch black, like I'm blind. Okay. So there were times I really thought I'm blind. Yeah, I thought maybe I went blind. At some point, one of the terrorists, he forgot his flashlight in my cell, so I took it and I hid it. Yeah, and every now and then I used to turn it on. I had small amounts of food. At the first few days I got 2 pieces of pita with a bit of cheese or fava beans, and as time went by, it became one pita, and after that, in the last week for me there, I had a biscuit a day, yeah, a small biscuit a day. That I remember, I used to wake up, I used to look at it, and I used to calculate throughout the day how would I eat this biscuit. So I open it, I take a small bite. This bite is heavenly, yeah, and this is what I used to live on for a week. Yeah, a week, like every day in a week, just small biscuit and a couple of sips of salty water. Yeah. I did not shower for 80 days now. You could literally scrub the dirt off my skin. There I was at my darkest point, at my lowest point, but the faith in Hashem became a lot more stronger. Yeah. So I used to wake up in the morning and do Modani, and I used to keep on going with the 5 minute dialogue I had with him. And at the last day there, I was so weak, I could barely stand up, and I remember me sitting in the dark. Um, I could hear, when you're inside, there's like you could hear the footsteps, of people. I could hear the footsteps because they were running from side to side, from places to place. And I sit there and I pray to Hashem. I tell him, please, Hashem, take me wherever you want. Doesn't have to be home. Just help me survive this place. Just help me get back home. And after 10 minutes, and when I say 10 minutes, I mean it. 10 minutes, the cell door opens, and the terrorist tells me, Omer, get your stuff. You're moving to a new place. In 1 week, you're going home. And this burst of energy comes up to me. I can dance now. And I get out of the cell, and we walk for about 50 minutes. Now I see a lot of places that were crashed, that were collapsed. So you have to kind of crawl inside the tunnels. And I'm starting to see like a tunnel that it's painted in white. Yeah, so it's the first time for me to seeing the color white. My eyes, they really opened up. Few more minutes we walk and we get to this big room. It was with the white tiles, like similar to this one, actually.
Okay, sorry, I don't mean the PTSD.
You're triggering me.
Yeah, sorry. We have like yellow couch over here also. Shoot, say,
And
So you're seeing white. You're seeing
yeah,
for the first time.
yeah, the first time. And I get to this tunnel, to this big room, and for me it's like the heavens of the tunnels, yeah, because I've seen the worst I could be in. And I get there and I take a shower and they give me some food. And I remember at that time I didn't really understand Arabic, yeah. Just a few words. I learned Arabic after 5 months there, yeah, and I kept it a secret throughout all the time. So I used to sit and listen to them, yeah, and I used to play dumb, and I used to sit and listen to everything they used to say. I remember at the first day there, they give me some food and I sit with them and I eat with them. Okay, we eat on the floor, and I remember me eating like like crazy because I'm hungry. I'm very very hungry, and they say, look at the pig, look at the pig, look at the Jewish pig, look how he eats, and I don't mind. I just eat. It doesn't matter to me. A day goes by, the night goes by, and the day after, one of the terrorists, he speaks Hebrew. He tells me, "Listen, you're going back to the place you've been in." And I am bummed, but I'm telling to myself, okay, Hashem gave me this day. I could take a shower. I ate some. Baruch Hashem, thank God. And a couple of terrorists comes inside the place. There were about 9 terrorists there, and some of them were the terrorists from the first tunnel. They really wanted to take me to the first tunnel, so they wanted to take me. And one of the terrorists there, he tells them, "Listen, I'm staying here the night, and I'm coming back to your place tomorrow. Let him stay the night, and I will come back with him." And in the night between, yeah, the Air Force, they bombed the way to the tunnel. So the tunnel collapsed and we could not go to this first tunnel. Yeah. And I stayed there for 400 days. The first 27 days, the army was in my area, was in the area I was in. Difficult times for me. They were nine terrorists in this place, and I'm an only hostage.
Pretty nerdy on their part, like 9 terrorists with guns versus like one guy who's,
yeah, exactly. No, listen, I have to say, they represent like, we want to die, we want to be a shaheed. They call it shaheed. They want to go to heaven, and this is the way to go to heaven. And they're humans like us. They are scared. They're so scared. I think they're more scared of us, from us than to die. And I've seen times that they were in so much depression. They are breaking apart. The first 27 days, I stayed there with 9 terrorists. The army is in the area. I remember hearing tanks going above my head. One night, I even hear soldiers speaking in Hebrew. And after the 27 days, the terrorists went up to look around the area they were, and they came back and they brought me a pile of books in Hebrew. One of the books was Dvar Malchut of Chabad, yeah. There it was one of the soldiers' book, and there they had Parashat HaShavua.
Yeah, the Chitas.
Yeah, and in the story was about Joseph going inside the pit and coming out and becoming a king. Yeah. And I tell them about the thing. I tell them it's a they really understand. I couldn't tell them what's a Parashat HaShavua, yeah. So I tell them it's a Torah, it's a Divrei Torah. And they take all the pile of books from me, and I come up to the leader of the place, and I tell him, "Listen, I'll do anything here. Anything. I'll cook and I'll clean and I'll make sure you have the best time you could have here inside the tunnel. just let me have those books. Just let me have this. I wanted this one book, the Dvar Malchut. And wow, I could have bring here I have a card that's Birkat HaDerech. That also I got here. I got there. So it was this and the Dvar Malchut I wanted them to give me. And he accepted. And he gave me it. And I read it about 1,000 times there. And it really kept me going. Kept me imagining the way I'm going out of the pit. And becoming a king.
Did you think that was like Hashem's way of talking
totally,
back to you?
Totally. Of course. Everywhere I went, I saw Hashem in every way possible. And I start the 400 days. So I have the books. I can read them. Most of the time I'm working. I used to clean there and cook there. And I used to dig in the tunnels as well and do electrical job and do water job. Like if you need a janitor to this studio, to this place, I'm all in.
No, you're gonna be the king of this place. You're already past that.
And after the time that when the army left, most of the terrorists they left, and I stayed with the 3 terrorists. And I really made this kind of a bond with them. So it was really a way for me to survive there. And the next 400 days, I'm trying to make them laugh and I'm making them food. And there is this one time, one of the terrorists, the leader there, he asked me, what's my dream? What do I want to do in life? And I tell him, I want to be an actor one day. This is my dream. And he tells me, okay, do something. I want to see you play something. And I'm telling him like, no, I don't want to do anything right now. And then he tells me, listen, you do me. Okay, you act like me. And I look at him and I tell him, listen, I'll do it, but it's all jokes, nothing personal. And it's very personal. And I get up and I do him and I do exactly how he was. They died there from love. And I walked. He had this walk. He was walking like with his arms like this, and the way he entered the place and the way he exited the place. And I really did it good. And luckily for me, he liked it. He laughed as well. And I just found ways to really get close to them, because I think because I was an only hostage there, because I was alone, so it was maybe easier to me to get to this bond with them. Because when it's a couple of hostages and a group of hostages and a group of terrorists. So they have to show power against the hostages. So I think maybe they won't come back on them or anything. They won't go against them.
The next part of the episode will have you saying over and over, thank you, Hashem. But first, my mother got my son a really cute book the other day. And one of those perfect finds you don't see in stores. When I thanked her, she said, no, thank you for telling me about PC Deals. This is true. That's when it hit me. Everyone should have this app. PC Deals isn't just about savings. It's about finding gems that you think you'd never search for. Amazing kids books, quality toys, kosher kitchen deals, flights, strollers, suitcases, you name it. It's updated constantly, lightning fast, and always on point. No spam, no fluff, just deals that make your life easier and better. Want to stop overpaying and start finding the good stuff before it's gone? Download the PC Deals app today. It's free, it's brilliant, and yes, your mother will thank you as well. Because with PC Deals, never pay full price again. Now, BitBean, you've probably heard their name, and they're the team trusted by companies that cannot afford to mess up. But what you may not know is how BitBean is using AI to flip the industry on its head. They've built a proprietary, research-driven framework that delivers high-end custom software, expert engineers, intuitive UX, and real scalability at a fraction of the usual cost. We went there this week, we met with the team, and I don't know why, I forget how many people work at BitBean. It is an army of people who are brilliant, smart, good at coding, good at knowing problem solving, and your business believe it or not, probably could be doing better in whichever way. And with great software, that's where BitBean comes in. They'll hold your hand. And with the rise of AI, they are using it to their advantage. And they're not just using AI like the simple ways like me and you are using, like, oh, make this email sound better. They are using it to properly code and properly get into the kishkas of it. And it's helping reduce the price of many, many projects. So now's the best time to reach out at our friends at BitBean. Of course, you go to the website, give them a call, send them an email. We'll have the link and the info in the show notes. Now back to this week's episode. I'm curious, at this point, you're there for so long.
Mhm.
Do you know what's going on? Do you realize how many hostages there are? Do you know what your parents and family are doing for you?
So the amount of hostages, yeah, I did know. At some point, they brought a TV to this tunnel. They were only seeing Al Jazeera, yeah, and in Al Jazeera, they don't really show. I don't know if it true or not true, but they show another side of the all the time that they add TV, yeah. In Israel, there is two protests. Yeah, there is the hostage square where they do a protest to bring back the hostages, and there is another hostage next to Ayalon. It's the main road in Israel, and there in this protest, they more protest about the government. Yeah, against the government. There is some hostages there, but mostly against the government. And in Al Jazeera, I remember I used to wait for Saturdays, the end of Saturday, so I could see the live protest. And they always showed the side of the government. Yeah, they did not show the side of the hostages. And there, my parents were never there. Yeah, so I never got to see them on TV. And I remember, they always used to tell me, the terrorists, they used to tell me, look, even your parents, they left you behind. Yeah. The government, the parents, and they don't care about you. And, I always believed that they fight for me. Yeah. But when you don't see them, it affects you. Yeah. And I remember even one night, I'm dreaming about me coming back home and screaming at them. Where were you? Why didn't you fight for me? What happened? And for those who don't know, my parents were they were one of the biggest there. Yeah, they started the forum. Yeah, the hostage forum. One day they come up with the phone and they show me pictures that they brought from Instagram. Yeah, of my parents, and it was one of the first pictures that they took. And in the picture, you can see them standing holding my picture. And in the picture, I look at them and their faces, they're very sad. So their faces are very swollen and they look very, very old. Yeah. And I look at them and I tell the terrorists, listen, these are not my parents. Like, I can't see my parents here. And he looks at me and he tells me, your parents are very old. They're very old. And I tell him, they're not old. You took their son away. Very sad. And he joked about it. He used to make fun of me. Throughout all the time, they used to curse me, spit on me. I've never experienced any physical abuse, thank God. But I did experience
Psychological,
psychological
mental abuse.
abuse and cursing and spitting, and I was kind of their slave, And then the ceasefire begins, and because I understood them, and so like I've said before, I learned Arabic after 5 months, yeah, and I did not tell them. At that time, I used to everything I used to listen to, everything that was important that I thought was important, I just saved in my head. Yeah, I made it a special place, so I could come back to Israel and give to the Shabak, to the intelligence. Yeah, And when I came back home, I used to speak with the Shabak, and they told me I have the, the most helpful intelligence that I ever got. Yeah, because I literally I knew who they are. I knew their families. I knew where they stayed. I knew the place I was inside of. I knew like all the area that I was. I knew exactly where everything is placed. Okay, and the hierarchy and the everything.
Could you tell me about the time where you almost escaped?
Oh yeah. This was in the first 27 days that the army was in the area. One night, they all fell asleep, and I stayed up, and there was no one guarding me. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's time for me to escape, because I was kind of scared for my life there. I felt like they want to torture me, and they wanted to do something for me, but it wasn't possible for them because the army was in the area. First, I sit up to see if anyone reacts, yeah, if anyone tells me anything, and then I stand up, and no one reacts, no one tells me nothing. They're all asleep. There's nine terrorists inside the room, and like a few meters away from me, I see a weapon. I see a rifle. I come up to it. I lift it. I grab it by my arms. My heart is it's pounding. Yeah, like never been. And I look at them. I'm like, I'm looking around. I don't know really what to do. And I was scared the rifle will have a jam.
Mm.
Yeah. And I put it back, and I go back to sleep. And I thank God that I did it, because at that time I really didn't know where I was. What should I do? Because even if I killed them all, I could have escaped. I escaped. Maybe the army could have killed me. Maybe
Right.
maybe they will think I'm a terrorist. It happened before. So I thank God I did not do it, but it was one of the most intense moments for me there. 400 days go by, and I get to the ceasefire, and in the ceasefire, I I couldn't understand that I'm inside the list. Yeah, they didn't tell me, but I just understood, and they fed me crazy amounts of food, crazy amounts of food. I had three meals a day, and in between chocolates and drinks, and they shoved food up my mouth. And and the last week I was there, they came and they tell me, Omer, listen, you're going back home in Shabbat in 1 week. And I play like I didn't know, and I'm so happy. And the last day for me in this tunnel, I they did like a meal, and we sit together and we eat, and then they tell me it's time to go. And before I go, I'm like, we're standing in the exit of the tunnel, and they tell me, listen, just tell us how to do stuff around here, because they didn't know anything. I used to hold the place. I was the janitor of the place, yeah. So they asked me, how do we clean the dishes, and how do we do this, and the electric, how do so everything, really everything, they needed help for me. And we went out of the tunnel.
Did you tell them?
Yeah, I did. I
nice
had to. I had to. And we went out of the tunnel.
It's your first time in how long out from
450 days.
What-
First time
what was
going
that?
out.
What was that like?
I was blindfolded, but the fresh air, the fresh air, suddenly it was a bit cold then. And wow, just breathing. Yeah, breathing. I was still, everything is on the edge, nothing is 100% there. But we're walking in the middle of the street. I remember I'm blindfolded. There's two terrorists holding my hands like this, and we walk in Gaza, yeah. And I remember people, like citizens, walking by me, Yeah, and I'm getting my head down like this. So and I pray to God no one sees me. Yeah, because if they see a Jew, they will kill him. Okay, it doesn't matter if Hamas have them. It doesn't matter anything. They will kill a Jew. Okay, if they get a chance, they will do it. And we get to a vehicle. We drive a bit, and they move me to another vehicle. And when I get to this vehicle, we drive for a couple of minutes, and then I hear the terrorist he's talking to someone. Yeah, I thought I'm alone in the vehicle with two terrorists, and he's saying, "Elia, do you want water?" And then I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm Omer, I'm not Elia. Yeah, and then I hear Elia Cohen was another hostage. He was released with me. I hear him speak. Yeah, and this is my first time hearing another hostage. Yeah, I did not see him. I hear him, and we drive to a house, and inside the house they take a couple of videos of us. Like for maybe 7 hours, we were blindfolded. We were just speaking to each other. We couldn't really see each other until they took us to a tunnel, and in the tunnel we took off our blindfolds, and I see them. I see it was Elia Cohen, Omer Venkert, and Tal Shoam. And because I ate so much in the last month, so I was a bit bigger. Yeah, I came out 15 kilos less. Yeah, it's about 39 pounds, I think. But I see them, and they like I look at them, and the first thing that comes up to my mind it's the Holocaust. Yeah, I see them, and they look like Holocaust survivors. They were so thin. Every sandwich they used to give me, I used to give to them. Yeah, and we spent 3 days together. Yeah, Tal was they took him from us. They moved him to another place because he was released in another area. Yeah, and in those 3 days, it was an amazing experience for me because the first time I see Israelis and I get to speak with them, and we talked, we compared like the experience, yeah, and we talked about what we want to do when you go back home. They did not know how it looks like when you go out. Yeah, I did know because I saw it on TV. So I tell them what's gonna happen, how it's gonna be, the stage and the ceremony and everything. And the big day comes, and I remember us. They dress us up as a soldiers. They give us like uniforms, and we start walking out of the tunnel. They blindfold us, and we stand in the exit of the tunnel. Yeah, right by the exit. And Elia is saying Shir LaMa'alot. Okay, he's like praying, but he's saying it really quiet. And I hear him, and he finish, and then I start singing it. Yeah, but loud. Yeah, and then it's the three of us together singing it right by the exit of the tunnel. And we get out of the tunnel. We go inside a vehicle, and we drive around for a few hours. At some point, I think it's not gonna happen anymore. And they told us that there is a problem with the names of the terrorists. Israel didn't give out names or anything. I don't know the lies that they tell us. And we drive around for a few hours, and at some point I fall asleep. Suddenly I hear cheering, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. I wake up, I get out of the vehicle, they take me up on the stage there, and they give me like this like I don't know if you've seen like this diploma, yeah, like this graduation form. And I stand there. I wasn't scared. I was so excited that I'm going home. Yeah, I didn't sleep all night before, and I'm holding this diploma with my hands. I'm standing proud. Yeah. Suddenly, the cameraman goes up to me and he tells me before the ceremony, two of the terrorists that I did know, they told me, "Listen, in the ceremony, you're gonna kiss our heads." Yeah. And I told them, no, it's not gonna happen. And we discussed it for a bit, and then we agreed on a hug. Yeah. And we get up to the stage, and there the cameraman comes up to me and it tells me kiss his head. And I'm like in the video you can see me like I don't know really what to do. And it tells me again, kiss his head now. And then I tell to myself, okay, I'll kiss his head and I'll go back home and he will stay here in Gaza. And I kiss his head and then I see a van coming and he stops right by the stage, right in front of us. And the doors of the van open and I see two hostages, Guy and Eviatar, sorry. And the Hamas terrorists, they made them look at us leave while they stay there. And the door of the van closes and he starts to drive away. And then they take us down the stage and we get into a Red Cross vehicle. And we start driving to a IDF safe zone. And then I start seeing, IDF vehicles, tanks, and some vehicles, and soldiers standing on the tanks and like greeting us, waving us, and then we get to this base. It's like inside of Gaza, but it's a safe zone, and the vehicle stops, and I get out of the vehicle, and I look at the sky, yeah, and I breathe fresh air, and I look at the soldiers around the area, and in front of me stands an officer, and her name is Daria, and Daria welcomes me and tells me, Omer, you're safe now. Everything is okay. Soon you'll meet your parents. They're all right. Everything is all right. And I look at her and I tell her, can I please hug you? And I give her this big hug. Yeah, after 505 days. And a hug that I needed so badly. And we hug for a few minutes. Then we go back on a vehicle and we drive to base Reim. It's next to the Gaza Strip. And there they give me a room with a shower, so I shower, and then Daria comes up to me and tells me, Omer, are you ready to meet your parents? And I sit in this living room, and I sit on the edge of the couch, yeah, looking at there was a crack of the door that it was opened a bit, and every person that went by, I saw like footsteps, yeah. I was ready to jump, and the door opens, and my mom and dad they come in, and we run to each other, and we hug, and it's pure, pure, pure happiness. It's this feeling, yeah, that I want every person, every hostage, every family of an hostage to experience. And we sit for a bit, we speak, and then they tell us it's time to go to the hospital, and they take us by a helicopter. And inside the helicopter, they gave me this whiteboard, yeah. And on the whiteboard, they told me write something so we could show the media, so the people could see you. And I write, everything is okay now, and with a smiley face, and I show it to the camera. And the soldier takes the whiteboard, and I tell him, wait, give me the whiteboard one more time. And then I write on the board, P.S. I want a burger. Yeah. And I show it to the camera. And when we get to the hospital, we got thousands of burgers. Yeah. From every restaurant in the area. We had to give it out to the doctors and everyone in the hospital. And in the hospital, I met my brother and my sister. It was an amazing experience, And I remember the first night there, I didn't sleep for almost 48 hours.
Why is that? Why couldn't?
The night before the release, I couldn't sleep. I was too excited. And I didn't me and I think Omer Venkert, we did not sleep. And in the hospital we sit all night long and we speak. And in about 4 a.m. My mom, as a Jewish mom, tells us, go to bed, go to bed. Yalla, yalla, go to bed. And we slept in the same room in the hospital. They gave us like 3 rooms. The hospital was amazing. Yeah, the staff and everyone was so special and amazing. And they gave us 3 rooms, but we decided to sleep in one room together. And I go to bed, and my mom, she sits next to me, and she looks at me all night long, yeah, like a newborn baby. She sees that I can breathe and I'm okay. And after a week, I uh I was released from the hospital. I went back to my city, to Herzliya. There, I got an amazing crowd of people, yeah, from all over the city came to see me throughout all the way. People greeting me and cheering for me. Even on the way, I'm inside the van, I'm opening the window for a bit and I wave to the people. And we get to the house, and the house was packed with people outside, and we couldn't get out. Yeah, there is a video of me like police, yeah, like securing the van and moving people. The love that we got, it was amazing. People, they really they wait for us to come back home. They waited for me, for the hostages to come back home. Yeah, you could really see the achdut, the Am Israel, at its prime, at its best. Yeah. A day later, I fly to DC to meet the president, to meet President Trump.
Was that was it a battle? Like, were your parents like, whoa, like you just had a traumatizing experience? Maybe you should stay here.
So my dad gets a phone call from the forum. They send like a group of released hostages there to speak with him, and I just told him, yeah, I'm going. I have to do it. I have to do it. It's a great opportunity for me to help the hostages, so I'll do it. And me and my mom, we fly to DC, and there we meet the president. We were there for about 40 minutes, I think, inside the Oval Room, me and the other hostages. And I think we spoke very good. He was really affected by us. You could see he cares. He really does care about us. At the end, I don't know if you saw the video. At
Yeah,
the
he
end.
gave you a really nice compliment. Yeah, but tell people who did it.
So we all shook hands with him. Yeah, and I stayed the last. I want to last, to greet him the last, and I give him a handshake. And I think he tells me something about this. He telling me, "You got a bright future ahead of you.
Right.
You got a good future ahead of you." And I gave him the thank you. It's a big compliment from him. It's an honor. Ever since then, I got back to Israel, and ever since then, I do everything that I can to help the hostages. They're going through hell. I really do want to say, thank you to the Jewish community. Yeah, they're doing an amazing job. Yeah, around here in the U.S. Yeah, an amazing job. Yeah, the Zionism and them wanting to help, and in every way possible, if it's praying and if it's donations and everything to the forum, of course, it's amazing to see the love and the unity. We're united, and it's amazing. Yeah, and I'm on the fight, and we'll do anything we can to bring them all back home. We have to do it. We want to be all again. We can't be all again until they all come back home.
It's really beautiful. And as we wind down, I'm curious. Did you ever ask yourself, or ask Hashem, like, why were you one of the people who were taken captive?
Yeah, there were times that I did ask myself and Hashem, why am I here? But I think I just needed to trust him, because Hashem is great. He's good. He's El Rachum V'Chanun. Yeah, I really do believe he put me on this path for some reason. Yeah, everyone gets their own path. There is a reason for everything. Yeah. So at some point, I let it go, and I told myself, okay, this is my path, and if I'm supposed to die here, then I'll die here. This is the way it is in life. Yeah, and I accepted with this way and with this path, and I thanked Hashem for everything.
I personally get, and I'm sure every Jew is like this. I get so offended when you see online all the lies being spread and all the hate that Jews are getting. How do you feel? Because you went through that torture, 505 days there. What do you say to the people who are so ignorant? Like they don't know and they're just listening to the
Yeah.
fake news or whatever.
Yeah. So for me personally, yeah, of course, it makes me mad. It makes me crazy. But we shouldn't really give much notice to them. That's the first thing. And I think instead of yelling at them and like going against them, yeah, we should just explain. We should go out and explain. And the news, they make everything fake news, and they blow up everything. They make everything big. Don't listen to them. They are haters. I want to say, I don't know, but just try to affect for the better side. Just try to keep on going, and not letting it affect you. Yeah, that's what I think.
After going through all of that and getting back to whatever normalcy of life, because in some way you're like a celebrity now.
Yeah.
But do you ever like pinch yourself and be like, wait, did that like
Wow.
what just happened?
So many times, so much times. It's before I came here to New York, I couple of days before, I was at the beach. Yeah, it happens to me a lot. Yeah, this is just one example. I sit at the beach and I look at the sunset. Yeah, and suddenly, like, it hits me, that I'm there. I'm here. Yeah, I'm home now, and it's crazy. It's crazy to think about it, and but there's something that doesn't let you go. The guilt, yeah, of them staying there, the other hostages. So first, it hits me that I'm home, and I thank God, and I thank Hashem that I'm here, and it's crazy for me, and it's weird for me. But then I feel the guilt. Why am I sitting here? I can look at the sun, I can feel the sun on my skin, and they're not. Why can I shower and they can't? Why can I eat and they can't? So everything throughout the day, throughout the everything, it's hard. It's hard. There is a lot of guilt. So also for us, it's hard to move on. Yeah, bring them home.
I'm sure the bond that you have with the other hostages, even people that you didn't even interact with, but you couldn't understand on
Yeah,
on such a deep level what they've gone through.
Yeah, I went to with my mom. I went to Tel HaShomer, yeah, to visit injured soldiers, yeah, and there I saw two other released hostages, Romy and Romy Gonen, Emily Damari, and this is the first time for me seeing them, and the people, they look at us and they're like, oh, miracle, it's a miracle. And for us, it's normal. Yeah, we feel very, very, very connected. Yeah. I see them and I feel like I know them already. Yeah, in some kind of a way, and we like compare the captivity, and it's really nice. It's really nice to see someone that gets you, yeah. And yeah, the bond is there, and I even Italian and Maya that they were released. Now we're inseparable, yeah, and it's amazing. It's amazing to have that this kind of a community. I don't say
Yeah, no, that
community,
works. Yeah.
community that gets you, that knows what you're going through.
Life always has struggles and challenges, and most people don't even understand like what you've actually been through. What would your advice be for someone going through whatever the struggle or challenge is in their life now? What would you advise
Yeah.
them?
It's like I've said before. Believe in Hashem. Yeah. Believe in his path. Yeah. He's putting you through something for a reason. Yeah. So you have to trust him, and you have to keep on praying, saying thank you. Something that I did learn and I did do while I was there. Yeah. Once before the captivity, while I was a soldier, I read a book about the Rabbi Nachman. Yeah. And in the book, it explained whenever you feel down, you have to just smile, even if it's a fake smile. Smile, yeah, and it will come to you. The happiness will come to you, and it's something I used to do inside there. Yeah, when I fell down, I smiled. I fake smiled, and the happiness came to me. So if you're depressed, if you're feeling down, smile for a second. Even maybe fake laugh. Yeah, the happiness will come to you. I assure that to you, and trust Hashem. He's good. Stay on the path He's giving you. Try to make the best out of what He's giving it to you. That's my what I think.
Omer Shem Tov, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
If you made it this far, please leave in the comments, thank you Hashem, or any other praise you want to give to Hashem for saving Omer from Hamas. Please use the YouTube comment section as a place to say whatever you'd like to Omer. He'll be reading all the comments, and this is your way to communicate to him. You don't have to send us an email. You can just go on YouTube, and he's going to go through all the comments. Now, before I get to our live podcast event with Eli Sharabi, you can hear all the info. We've been davening for Omer for so long, and Hashem finally answered our prayers. After 505 days, I just want to recognize how wild it is that Omer literally built his relationship with Hashem during the darkest moments of his life. How many people could be tortured for 505 days and come out saying he's working to become more religious and saying, thank you, Hashem? Chances are you've never been kidnapped and you should only have good things in your life. But life is riddled with challenges, and as a Jew, it's integral to constantly say, thank you, Hashem. Yes, you can go to our awesome friends at Thank You Hashem and get their merch and put on display how much you love Hashem. But the root of what our friends at Thank You Hashem are doing is to help the Jewish world realize that we have a relationship with Hashem. He's our king, he's our father, and he can do anything. Thank him for the good, thank him for the bad. Omer Shem Tov is safe now. Thank you, Hashem. Okay, now to the event. But first, thanks again to our sponsors, BitBean, Naki Radio, Wheel Solis, Woodmont College, and PZ Deals. Check them all out. Go support them. They support us. Eli Sharabi has been taken hostage on October 7th from his kibbutz. The evil Hamas members told him his family was still alive, and only after 491 days of physical abuse, starvation, and hell did he realize that his wife and 2 daughters were murdered by Hamas. We will be sitting down with Eli on June 10th at 8 p.m. at Young Israel of Woodmere to discuss it all. This event is for people who want to meet a former hostage and see in person what it's like to go through the tunnels, Gaza, and hell. It'll be very heartbreaking, very powerful, and very moving. We will include a link with more details to RSVP a seat. And of course, this event, like most of the things we do at Living L'Chaim, is completely free. Thank you to our friends at Young Israel of Woodmere. So go ahead and check out the link for more info, and we'd love to see you in person. You could go to the link at livingl'chaim.com/live. You know, after October 7th, I never imagined that we'd have the schus of sitting down with these hostages on our platform, and Baruch Hashem, thanks to you, our audience, and thanks to Hashem that we're at this point where the hostages are reaching out to us to come onto our program. So I just want to acknowledge again, thank you, Hashem, for everything. And thank you all for listening. And thank you for the hostages for trusting us to tell over and speak with them about their story and about what they've been through. We're not out there yet. There's still 58 hostages, unfortunately, and we want them back today. So please continue davening and share this episode with someone that you think it could impact their lives. Remember, inspiration is everywhere. Chaim.
Living L'chaim.